Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee. It's weather in 5 days and 5 minutes on the 14th of August, 2019. And I think we could probably say that today could be the start of what is often called the dog days of August. Those days where it's very warm and humid. You occasionally get the odd scattered downpour or a thunderstorm. And the nights are also very warm and humid, where you get some low clouds and patchy fog, and sometimes even an overnight downpour. I think we could pretty much summarize the next 5 days where it's going to be like that. Temperatures are going to vary a bit over the next 5 days. We're not going to be overly warm today through Friday, but then we're going to warm up over the weekend, and we will see some scattered downpours or perhaps a scattered thunderstorm or two. But for much of the time, and for most of you, it won't be raining. First things first, we've got to get rid of that frontal boundary, and that's going to be tough to do. I've got the surface map here from this morning, and we basically have it stalled on top of us at the moment. It's only very, very slowly moving offshore, and that is producing a few issues with regards to certainly with clouds, and we're seeing some activity going on the radar as well. But eventually, this frontal boundary is going to settle out offshore to our east, but it's going to just kind of sit here offshore and not really go anywhere fast. It's just going to linger around, probably right through into and through the weekend. And while it's close to us, we're going to be dealing with the clouds, and it's going to hold the temperatures down. We're also going to have a bit of a wind coming in from the northeast, and that's going to also help to hold the temperatures down a bit. But as we go into the weekend, this frontal boundary actually will get pushed a little bit further to the east, and I think that's going to allow temperatures to warm up. With respect to what we're seeing around during this morning, you'll notice that we've got some patchy showers on the radar, but again, not covering everyone. We've got a few patches in south central and southeastern PA. Some of this is reaching the ground, some of it isn't. Focus on the greens and the yellows and not so much on the blues. The blues usually reflect the precip that might be aloft. Got a few patchy showers down in parts of Maryland, some in central New Jersey and offshore. And we're not seeing really too much going on as we go to the north, although we have a couple of light showers showing up in the Catskills and then on up the Hudson Valley. And this is the kind of thing you're just going to have to get used to over the next several days. Here's our full U.S. satellite look, and you can see the frontal boundary itself starting to line up with all these clouds along the East Coast here. You're just off the East Coast, and then going back into the Carolinas. This is where, by the way, if we're going to have any kind of thunderstorm action and potential for severe weather, it's going to be in the coastal Carolinas to maybe about 150 or so miles inland, and then going southwestward from there with that boundary all stalled out into the southeast. And here's our close-up this morning. There are some gaps in between some of the clouds. You can see a few thin spots here and there, but still, the clouds do tend to dominate most of the area. The air is a bit drier as you go up through upstate New York and into southeastern Canada. Some of that dry air is going to try to bleed southward, and we want to emphasize try because I don't know how much success it's going to have. So when we take a look at what the weather models are doing during the afternoon hours and evening hours, you can see the green areas indicative of what the GFS model thinks the radar is supposed to look like. So it's reflecting the possibility that there could be some scattered downpours today, anywhere from northeast Virginia to southern New England. Then they just kind of disappear at night. The frontal boundary begins to shift a little bit further to the south, but still close enough that we get the same issue for Thursday. Clouds, sun, some breaks of sun, and the odd downpour or a thunderstorm. Perhaps Friday might be the one day where we might see a shade less with regards to pop-ups and perhaps a bit more inland rather than area-wide. And for the weekend, with another wave going by to our south and east, this is where the frontal boundary gets pushed out a little bit further to the east. So this will allow maybe for a bit more in the way of sun for Saturday and Sunday, and temperatures that'll be climbing a bit higher. The next cold front doesn't really look all that impressive. It looks like it comes through sometime early on Monday, and the air behind it is not that much different than the air ahead of it. So let's just look really quick at high temperatures today. They're going to be mostly in the upper 70s to low 80s. It gets a little bit warmer when you get down into southern Pennsylvania, down into Maryland and Virginia, where it'll be in the low to mid 80s. Thursday pretty much is the same thing as today, a repeat performance, depending on cloud cover. Actually, it's a degree or two lower in areas to the south, and it makes everybody rather uniform. Mostly low 80s with 70s, upper 70s along the shore. Friday, we're going to nudge it up a bit higher. Looks like most highs for Friday in the area from Virginia to southern New England between 80 and 85. Saturday, this is where we get to the warmer temperatures. We're looking at mid to upper 80s with a few spots down in Maryland and Virginia getting to near 90. And Sunday, also a very warm and humid day with most highs in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. So that carries you through the next 5. Just listen for the dog barking. That's the August dog with the August dog days. Thanks for being here this morning. We'll be updating you with weather later today. And also, don't forget, if you haven't downloaded my free weather app, by all means, please do on Google Play or on the App Store. Just search Meteorologist Joe Cioffi or just plain old Joe Cioffi. And by the way, if you do have the app on the Android device, be sure you have it set for updates, because you now will be able to go to your local forecast tab or your radar tab, and it should default to your location. So you won't have to manually go in every time and change it. For those of you on iPhones, we're still waiting. We'll let you know when Apple lets us know. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later.